Hello and welcome to Canada Immigration Matters. In this video, we're going to tackle the top frequently asked questions that visitors to Canada often ask. Recent changes to visitor visa requirements may leave some foreign nationals looking to visit Canada with questions about their situation. In this video, we have compiled a list of some of the most important frequently asked questions that may be helpful to review before spending the time, energy, and money necessary to come to Canada. Let's get to it. 1. How long can I stay in Canada as a visitor? In most cases, visitors to Canada can remain in the country for 6 months from the day they enter Canada or until their passport expires, whichever comes first. The date by which a visitor must leave Canada will be indicated by a stamp in their passport or a document provided to them by a Canada Border Services Agency (CBSA) officer. Visitors who would like to remain in Canada beyond their initially authorized stay can apply for an extension. 2. What is the difference between a single and a multiple entry visa? As indicated by the name of the visa, single entry visas permit the holder to enter Canada one time only, while a multiple entry visa allows repeated entry to Canada so long as the visa remains valid. All visitor visa applicants are automatically considered for a multiple entry visa, but Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada (IRCC) reviews each application separately and issues every visitor a visa accordingly. IRCC clarifies that single-entry visa recipients will require a new visa to enter Canada once they have left unless they are traveling directly to either the United States or St. Pierre and Miquelon. Meanwhile, multiple-entry visas are valid for the shorter of the following two periods: 10 years or 1 month before the expiration of the visa holder's passport. Every entry to Canada using a multiple entry visa allows the visa holder to remain in Canada for up to 6 months at a time. 3. Can I fill out one visa application for my whole family if we are traveling together? The answer is no. While all visitor visa applications for one group of family members may be submitted in the same envelope, alongside one payment receipt accounting for the total fee of all applications, everyone must complete and sign their visitor visa application. This rule also applies to any other required forms, excluding the family information form, which must only be completed by applicants 18 years or older. Note: parents and guardians can help their children fill out their forms, and every visitor visa applicant under the age of 18 must have their documents signed by a parent or guardian. 4. Is there any way I can help a friend or family member visit Canada? Although your friends and family members must complete their visa applications, a letter of invitation is a document you can submit to help a loved one come to Canada. It should be noted that this document, which details how you may help the visa applicant, for example, offering to pay for accommodation, food, and other essentials, can help but does not guarantee the applicant will be approved for their visitor visa. 5. Do I need a medical exam to get a visitor visa? This depends on the visitor's length of stay in Canada. In most cases, visitors in Canada for 6 months or less do not require a medical exam unless they will be working in a job where the protection of public health is essential. The above public health protection condition also applies to visitors who will be in Canada for longer than 6 months. In addition, visitors in Canada for 6 months or longer will need a medical exam if they meet either of the following two requirements. The applicant has been, for 6 or more consecutive months, living or residing in a designated country or territory. The applicant is applying for a parent and grandparent super visa. This applies to all visitors, even those who are citizens of visa-exempt countries, who have been in any of the eligible countries in the 1 year immediately preceding the date sought entry into Canada. 6. Is a visitor visa the same thing as a visitor record? No. A visitor visa is required by foreign nationals looking to travel and enter Canada as a visitor, in most cases, for up to 6 months. Conversely, a visitor record is provided by CBSA officers to either extend or restrict the recipient's stay in Canada. This type of document may also be given to foreign nationals by either CBSA or IRCC after their application to extend their stay or restore their status in Canada is approved. 7. I got a new passport, but I have a valid visa in my old one. Can I use the visa in my old passport? IRCC notes that it is possible to travel to Canada using a valid visitor visa placed in an old passport. However, travelers in this situation must bring both of the following documents with them to Canada: the old passport with a valid visa. Travelers may need to explain to CBSA officers why their old passport is no longer valid. The new valid passport or travel document. Note: to avoid processing delays at the Canadian border, IRCC recommends that all visitors to Canada obtain a new visitor visa in their new, valid passport. 8. Can I study or work while I'm in Canada as a visitor? As a visitor, you are not allowed to work or study unless you apply for and receive a work or study permit. 9. How can I extend my stay as a visitor? Extending your stay in Canada requires that you submit biometrics, fingerprints, and a photograph, and apply for a visitor record. This document allows visitors to Canada 3 options to extend their stay in the country. As a visitor, as a worker authorized to work in Canada without a work permit, and as a student authorized to study in Canada without a study permit. The steps to applying for a visitor record online can be found on the IRCC webpage. 10. Can I file an appeal if my visitor visa is denied? There is no appeal process for a visitor visa application from IRCC. If your application is refused, you will receive a letter explaining why. When an applicant is denied a visitor visa to enter Canada, they can reapply, addressing the reasons for refusal in their new application, but IRCC recommends that they only do so if their situation has changed, or they have new information to submit that may alter the outcome of their application. 11. What are the rules about reapplying after a refusal? There is no limit to the number of times you can apply, but each application must be complete and respond to the reasons for the previous refusal. 12. Why are visa refusal rates increasing? Visa refusal rates can increase due to a variety of factors, including changes in immigration policy, increased scrutiny of applications, or changes in international relations. 13. What documents do I need to apply for a visitor visa? Typically, you'll need a valid passport, proof of financial support, and a letter of invitation from someone living in Canada. However, requirements can vary, so it's best to check the official website. 14. How long does it take to process a visitor visa? Processing times can vary depending on the volume of applications received, the completeness of your application, and whether an interview is required. 15. Do I need a visa if I'm just traveling through Canada on my way to another country? Documentation for those transiting through Canada depends on an individual's unique situation. Generally, travelers can be broken down into 2 categories: visa-required travelers from a visa-required country, and visa-exempt travelers from a country that requires an electronic travel authorization, ETA. Some visa-required travelers need a visitor visa. This applies to travelers who are visiting Canada, even if traveling by air and the traveler is in Canada for less than 48 hours, staying in Canada for more than 48 hours while transiting through the country to another destination, crossing the Canadian border via any of the following 5 modes of transportation: bus, car, train, boat, or cruise ship. Other visa-required travelers may only require a transit visa. This applies to travelers who have an international flight that stops at a Canadian airport on the way to another country, will be connecting between 2 international flights at a Canadian airport, will be transiting through Canada in 48 hours or less, and do not have a valid visitor visa. Visa-exempt travelers need an ETA to transit through Canada by air. Travelers transiting through Canada by train, bus, boat, or cruise ship are not required to obtain an ETA, but must still bring with them the correct travel document. 16. What services do immigration consultants provide? Immigration consultants like Chugo Immigration Services can guide you through the application process, help you understand the requirements, prepare your application, and respond to any issues that may arise. Navigating the immigration process can be challenging. That's why we recommend using the services of reliable immigration consultants like Chugo Immigration Services and other immigration lawyers. They can guide you through the process, helping you understand the requirements, prepare your application, and respond to any issues that may arise. Remember, the right advice can make all the difference when it comes to your immigration journey. So, don't hesitate to seek professional help. That's all for today. If you found this video helpful, please like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more immigration updates.